Alright, y'all. I'll make a video today talking about some gardening stuff, things that you may need this year for gardening season. And I've got a list of 5. Of course, there'd be more and all that, but anyway, starting off, number 1 would be seeds. If you don't have any seeds to plant, then you're not going to do very much gardening, so that needs to be the first thing you need to get. And now before planting time is a good time to go ahead and get on that and get them stocked up. So there's several different ways you can do it. Stores around here are starting to get them in now, like Home Depot and things like that. You got Walmarts are getting them and all of that. You can order them online, different ways like that. Different companies have a bunch of different things that you can order. There's different kinds. Um, Heirloom is what most preppers use, and what I'm going to try to lean more towards, so you can save your own seeds and be able to replant them year after year. Hybrids grow really quick, and they usually yield a pretty good harvest, but it's only a one-time thing because if you plant them back, they won't necessarily come back as the same crop next year. So people try to stay away from that. You don't save the seeds on your hybrid stuff, just on the heirloom. And there's a bunch of different ways and things to save seeds, so you can look up into that. Number 2 would be tools that you might need, like shovels and rakes and healing hose and gloves and all of that kind of stuff that goes along with it. Maybe even a tiller would fall in that category. I have a tiller, and I enjoy it. I use it a lot, and stuff like that would be maybe even like tomato cages would be considered kind of like tools and equipment type of things you may need. If you're starting seeds, the trays to start them out with, and if you're doing container garden, of course the containers, the raised beds, that would fall under there. You would need all those kind of things that really make it work, if you know what I mean. So that would be number 2. Number 3 would be your canning stuff to be able to preserve whatever you grow. That would be jars, lids, the rings, the canner itself, salt, and whatever things like that that you might need. If you're going to be doing jams and jelly, you need the Sure-Jell or whatever you call it. But definitely the canner, the jars, rings, and lids. They're starting to come back in to stores now. Um, so far in my area, the only thing I've been able to find is wide mouth stuff. So that may be something you need to consider. If you got a bunch of regular lid jars, you may have to order the regular mouth jars. You may have to order the lids and things for them. Or, if you don't have any at all, you're starting out, you may have to go with the wide mouth stuff. But anyway, some things to consider. I have some of the Tatler brand reusable lids. I've had pretty good luck with them so far, except we tried to can a stew with it, and I didn't run it through the pressure canner. We just kind of water bathed it, and they didn't hold seal for whatever reason. So that's the only bad thing I've had with them. As far as like potatoes and vegetables, they've held fine so far. And if you don't have a canner, you can get a water bath canner. It's cheaper, but you can do most vegetables and things like that with it. But if you're going to do meat, you do need a pressure canner for that. It's highly recommended. The pressure canners usually Usually you can find one around $100 or something, you know. You can even find them cheaper through like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or things like that. Usually they'll do fine for you, and they do sell the seals. If the seal in there is bad, you can order another one. Um, Miro and Presto are usually some of the two biggest ones. And of course, you got the All-American canners that don't use a seal at all. They just tighten down with the clamps. I have a really old one of that I restored. I did a video on that a while back. And I also plan to get a new one too, to have for long term. Have two of those where we don't have to worry about a seal and gasket and all that type of stuff. So I think that would be beneficial maybe if you're definitely serious about gardening and homesteading. You can go ahead and get into that. The All-Americans are more expensive, but they're more long-term oriented. So number 4 would be grow lights. I've had to put some grow lights in my greenhouse because we haven't had a lot of sunlight this year, and we're starting into a grand solar minimum, and I do believe that. I see evidence of it for myself with not as much sunlight anymore. It's been a colder winter, an unusual winter. We've had more snow and ice than is normal, and like Texas got hit with a big ice storm and snow and all that, so things to consider. Maybe even if you don't plan on using grow lights right now, you just go ahead and get some and have them, you know, stored away, just in case you may need them down the road and things like that. So the 5th thing is going to kind of cover all of these things, and that's going to be knowledge doing this. Especially if you've never did any type of gardening or canning or anything like that. There's a lot of preppers that I've seen on here that actually don't know how to can. I learned this past year. My wife knew how to can, and she's usually been doing that and everything when we had the garden before, but this year, you know, I kind of went ahead and learned, so you know I could help out and be able to do it on my own sometimes and stuff like that. It's really not that complicated, and it's not as intimidating and scary as you may think it is. Just follow the safety rules and, you know, jump in and try it. There's plenty of videos. I made a couple videos on canning and stuff like that, and we probably will make some more this year as the garden come in. And I plan on making a lot more videos this year since I've learned how to like tie clips in together and stuff like that. So hopefully that'll be something to look forward to. Like I said, you can get a bunch of books on learning to grow stuff, the different types of plants and what you need to grow them, what kind of climate they like, and things like that. There's books on canning and preserving the food and all that stuff. And there's also a lot of videos online you can look up and check that out. And a lot of resources available to you if you need to learn this stuff. So anyway, that's going to be it for this one. Stay prayed up, prepped up, and strapped up. See you.